going. And
there we go.
And we're live. It took forever to go live. I hit that button. It took like 30 seconds. So, how's everybody doing tonight? We see Starla came in first again. Then Lucy's there, and Teepaw, and Naughty Heathen. Hope you guys are doing well tonight. It's a little chilly here.
Little chilly.
A little chilly.
Just a little bit.
It was what, 60 degrees on Saturday? Or
Something
Friday
like
or whenever it was.
Yeah.
And then it froze. I guess it froze Saturday morning. But how's everything going with everybody? Can you guys hear us? Had a busy week. I would say we did. We did. You wanna start? Or you want me to?
You can start. I don't care.
Let's see here. Let's go on. Let's see. Jonathan showed up. He said he's got his yard mowed.
Did you do the dishes? Are you doing them now?
Are the dishes being done? That's what. Skanes girl, how you doing? Let's see. People are asking about Georgia election results.
Oh yeah, I haven't seen them yet.
Who knew Herschel Walker was the face of white supremacy?
It's ridiculous. That and Shark Week.
Apparently. Oh, Shark Week, yeah. Teapot says, well, you guys have to keep up on that. So what I do this week? Spent a lot of time at the JOB. Worked on the chicken coop on Sunday.
Hey, Tag.
Ended up
hey, Andy,
within about 30 minutes. I came in. Angela was working in the kitchen, and within about a 30-minute time period, I got poked so many times by the fencing I was putting up that I came in bleeding from several different places, like having to apply direct pressure. And I told Angela, I said, I
was doing dishes. I wasn't even paying attention.
I said, I'm kind of done. And it took that one. I got a through and through on my thumb right there, and it took about 10 minutes worth of direct pressure to get that to stop bleeding.
Yeah, we're getting older.
It is. I really are. But got a wood split and did that, and then Tag and I went over and with Mechanic Mike on Saturday, and we helped some people that we met at the last potluck. We went over to help them move a 24 by 24 carport, and it was Tag, Mike, myself, Shane, and his wife doing all the moving, and miraculously we got it moved, and it was pretty good too.
We don't want to amputate anything around here.
No.
Pretties.
No.
No. But he gives it a try.
Yeah, I bled
with the same thumb.
I haven't got one right here. You know how the wires rolled more tightly at the end of the roll. I had it out and I was putting it up, and I yanked on it, and one of the staples came loose, and it was like a big giant spring, and it just hit me right in the face, and I was bleeding. You know what? These are the hazards of running a homestead. Everything seems to bite you, poke you, or sting you.
Yeah.
But hey, Joseph G, we were just talking about your question.
We'll discuss that tonight.
Talk about that after the update portion. And what else did I do? Feels like that's all I really did. We went picking.
Just hurt yourself?
Yeah.
No.
Did we go picking again? Mm-mm. No, we didn't go picking this week. We were supposed to. Let's see. Lucy says my daughter and son-in-law brought some deer meat and the carcass to cook up and put in the freezer for my dogs. Hallelujah. Nice. I'm still waiting. I've seen a cat, 2 squirrels, and a bird in all my hunting so far this year.
Yeah, but Teepaw might be onto something, I think.
What's that?
The short that I did today with the chickens. We have an issue. Our chickens think that every time we go outside that we need to feed them. They need to be all up in our face.
I wonder whose fault that is.
And
who feeds them right off the porch? It's not me.
I've been going out into the yard.
After I yelled at you
They just come
Sunday.
And peck at the door, and they're like, hello.
Yes.
Anytime today.
We have porch chickens, and it's becoming a real issue.
It really is. They surrounded me at the truck yesterday.
Did they?
I need to leave. What is going on here?
Well, she goes out there. She goes out there with this huge, monstrous bag of rolls and stuff. And she's feeding them right there next to the porch.
Well, and then whatever scraps we have left over from the refrigerator, and then oats. They like oats and that kind of thing. So I spoil them a little bit.
And the whole time that the goats are leaning up against the fence.
What about me?
Just at the top of their lungs.
Yeah.
At the top of their lungs, feed us too. So I had to yell at her. We can show that.
Yeah, you can show that.
We can show that. Joyner, how you doing tonight? We didn't say that had a Hippocrates either, even though he told me I could amputate, which is not cool. Homesteading heathen, absolutely. Oh, Pat, are you guys back from your vacation?
Yeah, they're back.
Hope all is well. I heard that they're getting a lot of rain down in New Mexico right now. But yeah, so that was basically it. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, I can't think of anything else I did other than just basic. It really kind of sucks because, like, literally today the chickens were inside the coop because it got so dark at 5 o'clock here because it was overcast. So it's kind of hard working outside. I went and got a big round bale of hay from our neighbor. You guys met Chris. He came over here and showed up in one of the live streams, and I went over to get a hay bale from them, and by the time I got done with it, it was completely dark, and I started over there at like 4:45. Yeah. But it's just it's hard getting a lot of work done outside when it gets dark this quick. I can't wait. We've got what's today? The 6th. 15 more days, and they start getting longer.
I hope so.
Winter solstice. Winter solstice is in 21 days. So
do they get longer or shorter?
They get longer after December 21st. Uh-huh. Shortest day of the year.
Okay.
So that was my week. What'd you do with your week?
Man. Okay, so freeze dry galore.
Stand by.
Freeze dry galore. I have every single Skittle except for 2 packages done. We've got flea market coming up on the reservation, and I'm going to have a booth there, so we'll be taking freeze-dried food, candy, and all that stuff. Came up with 2 more cake recipes that I'm really pleased with. We're going to take those out. I got the cake boxes and all of that stuff ordered. We'll do some special orders for very large bundt cakes, and I know that I can beat the price for nothing bundt cake. And then
Nothing bundt cake. I don't know if you guys got them where you are. It's a specialty store that they do red velvet bundt cakes, right? It's basically what they do.
No, so they do a lot of different bundt cakes, different flavors.
They do $45 bundt cakes is what they do.
Yeah, if they haven't gone up. So I don't know. I haven't bought some in a while, but yeah. So we'll be doing that, taking special orders for that. I had to go in and do my food handler's license. That was interesting with IHS, which is the Indian Health Services, different from a county or state or anything like that.
Well, and what was strange about that was when we lived over by Kansas City, we went, and Jackson County is the major county in the metropolitan area in Kansas City.
And kids were in show choir and that kind of stuff, so we always had to do fundraisers.
And so we had to get our food handling license
and alcohol license.
We had to go sit in a class for 3 hours,
something like that,
at one of the courthouses, and we had to take a test, and they issued us laminated.
Homestead Heathen, his cousin.
Really? Really
interesting.
Well, don't talk bad about it.
There's nothing bad about it. It's just expensive.
That's what you said the other day.
That's not true. That's not
but
true.
Anyway, so we went through the whole thing. We had cards with our ID on it, and the IHS one, I guess, because of the COOF, they do it all online now, and it took you an
hour and a half
to get it complete.
Hour and a half.
And you said it was the training was more comprehensive than the in-person.
Yes, and thorough. Yeah. So
hey, Spags. Yeah, I'm sure your signal went bad. I'm sure wouldn't have anything to do with that bird breaking, would it? I saw you got something. Congratulations. And I saw Lucy said something up there higher.
2
What'd she
right
say?
there.
They had 7 does, a spike buck, a 4-point, a 6-point, and a 28-point on the camera just during the night at their feeding station. They got the 4-point buck in the that's a big deer.
Yeah.
They got the 4-point buck in the afternoon. See, that's so weird to me. In Missouri, you can put feeding bait stations out. You can feed them like that, but they have to be pulled in 2 weeks before the season starts.
Kansas?
No, in Missouri. In Kansas, you can keep them out all during
all
season. You can actually hunt over a feeder if you want to. So that's just kind of weird. I'm still waiting. I'll get one.
Yay, Lucy! Amazing. 23 liters. What is that in quarts?
Not as many as 23.
41 quarts.
I don't know.
I think that's the large one.
Is that the large one?
Yeah. Nice. Hey, Starla. So got that license done. That's kind of nice because that actually will work down in Texas, Oklahoma, over in Tennessee, and that kind of thing. You just have to check on a few things.
Anytime you're on a reservation.
Set that, but I read it very carefully. I wanted to make sure. Yeah, and so it didn't cost me anything to do. It was free. And so that worked out well. And then, it's just been freeze dry galore around here. So I've got gummy bears in right now. The gummy bears are looking good. And what do you mean?
I don't understand why people like those things. Seriously. It's apparently everybody in the world likes them except for me. Because they sell almost as good as the Skittles do. Yeah.
And then let's see, I've got peppermint in there right now too. And then tomorrow I was gonna do something else. Do you remember? Oh yeah, I'm gonna get the beets in, and I'll do the beet pills. It's the only way I can get them down him. And then I'll go ahead and I'll start on the rest of the candy. I need to get some more taffy done and that kind of thing. Sour Patch Kids did not work out. Not happy with that. So those are going to go back to the store. Or Hack's son is going to be in heaven with a crap ton of Sour Patch Kids. So, and then I want to try those Starbursts too and see how the Starbursts turn out. But I have to get everything done very quickly because
you're doing cinnamon discs too right now as an experiment. Right?
Those were not cinnamon discs. Those are peppermint.
Those are peppermint discs. Okay, they're peppermint.
I can throw some ones in there.
No, the red and white stripe.
Those were peppermint. Yeah. So I figured I'd throw some Christmas candy in there and do all that.
Spags' dad was just laughing at him. Well, we're gonna have another hunting show sometime in December. The second portion of the firearm season, the antlerless portion, starts in January. So I figured, Spags, I would get you on there, and we would do that. Kentucky Sustainable Living said he'd come on there with us, and we do that freeze dried cannabis gummies. Now you know what? If we were in Colorado, I'd say let's do it. I'd say we could do it, but it's not. Or Missouri. Missouri can do it now too.
Missouri can do it now.
That's right.
Yeah. Cannabis gummies.
Yes.
Now I need to experiment. I'll come over.
Don't worry, it'll happen in 35 years. Yeah, eventually it's going to happen. I don't.
They're already talking about now.
I
think Kansas is missing their mark, and they're trying to figure out how to pull more tax dollars.
I don't advocate smoking marijuana. I'm not saying don't do it, but I don't understand how marijuana is still a Schedule I drug. Just makes absolutely no sense.
Girl.
Just the industrial applications of hemp, because industrial hemp falls underneath the Schedule I, just like the marijuana that people smoke. And there's a $600 million industry just in industrial hemp right now in the United States that just waiting to be tapped. And that $600 million is from 20 years ago, so it's probably even higher now.
I don't know. Hippocrates always wanted to know if a Cabbage Patch Kid ate a bag of Sour Patch Kids candy, would they become a sauerkraut kid? How much pot you been smoking?
Homestead is watching us and getting ready to read David the Good. Which book is that one? Is it his new one? Huda Holler says Alaska has pot stores. It's going to happen.
It'll happen.
It's the, I don't know. You can't sit here and demonize pot and then accept the billion-dollar pharmaceutical industry in the United States. It just seems extremely hypocritical.
You think?
So that's all I'm going to say about that. I don't want to get sideways with the powers that be on YouTube.
Yeah.
But
But as soon as it becomes legal, I can't do it if it's illegal, but as soon as it becomes legal, we will have pot plants on our farm.
Yep.
So just saying that. And not because we need to sit down and smoke pot all day, but because it is medicinal and there are uses for it. Our daughter is an example of that. And we support marijuana 100% when it comes to the medical. So
I'm not gonna lie. I want to. I honestly, I want to learn how to cultivate it.
yeah,
I want to learn how to do it because it
Mhm.
seems like a really good skill to have
Mhm.
because it's a lot harder than growing tomatoes or cucumbers.
Yeah. So our daughter had was diagnosed with juvenile lupus when she was
13.
almost 13. Yeah, and that can have a death sentence of 5 years. So they either will pass or they can overcome that. And so we sent her out to Colorado. She stayed with my aunt and worked out there for a summer when she was 17.
Mhm.
And she worked with a young man that was going to CSU, and he was actually taking marijuana classes at the college and learning how to cultivate and cross pollinate and all of that stuff. And he actually came up with one specifically for her. And when she got back, she was out there, what, 3 months, 2.5 months. And when she got back, it was time for her blood test. So we took her in to get her blood taken, and she was in complete remission.
Yep.
And before she left, she was not, which is one of the reasons we decided to go ahead and let her have that summer.
So now Carlene makes a good point here. Pot has destroyed Colorado. Homelessness has gone through the roof.
That's true.
And so has crime.
Yep.
So that's an excellent point, Carlene, because that's the pro legalization crowd glosses over that, and crime, if it's not done properly, crime and homelessness and all the negative effects will go up, and they will hurt people. But no, but my whole thing is in a free society, um, those choices should not be the government's choice, in my opinion. It should be the individual's choice, and it should be the community that they live in's choice.
Well, and let's go a step further. So if you want to start getting into that and you want to say that pot is what did that and what happened, it's really not. It's the government that did that. And so I say that because we are dealing with a very bad meth issue right here in Kansas. We've got fentanyl. In fact, I'm worried about our freeze-dried Skittles because the
Don't talk about that.
fentanyl is, well, that's what they're using, and that's what it looks like.
They're lacing Skittles with fentanyl and then freeze drying them and selling them as.
Well, I don't know that that's the order. I don't do that, but I don't know that that's
from the picture, that's what it looks like they're doing.
But so you have that issue, and I would say that with meth in itself, the crack and heroin, especially when we were in California, you're going to have the homelessness and you're going to have the crime, and the two come hand in hand. And the issue is, we as a people have to stand up and say enough is enough, and you got to clean it out. But if your government's not on board to clean it out, what do you do? And
okay,
so
before we go any further, we're not giving medical advice. We are not doctors. This is we're just sharing our own personal experience and our own personal opinions. If you find it an interesting topic and you want to find out if it's something that you could do, go talk to your doctor, seriously, and talk to a medical professional, because that way you're getting, hopefully you've got a good doctor. I know that's kind of a hit or miss thing anymore, but hopefully you've got a good doctor and they'll steer you in the right direction. Mm-hmm. I know I had a cousin that had brain cancer when I was a kid, and they prescribed him marijuana for the pain. It was funny because you know the big cookie tins? He used to keep his pre-rolled cigarettes in one of those tins. And my grandmother, who was a smoker, Grandma Akers, mm-hmm. found the tin and was asking my cousin if she could have one of his cigarettes.
Oh man. Yeah, no. You're right. Homesteading heathen. If all the states were legal, they wouldn't have migrated to a few places. Right. Exactly. Yeah.
But again, like you said, it's a symptom. Right. It's a symptom. It's not a cause. Mm-hmm. You know. But like I said, I think it should be up to the individual communities and the individuals themselves.
Would you stop
before they do
pulling
it.
on the
I'm
tablecloth?
gonna pull it all I
You
want.
do it all the time. Stop.
But okay, so let's see here. The problem is not substance or an animal object, the personal action and decision. Amen. What is missing is society's wide holding people accountable for their actions.
Right.
Well, and you know what? That goes back to what Tag and I were talking about on our last. Well, we talked about it in a lot of the videos. Personal responsibility.
Mhm.
You know, personal responsibility is at the root of almost every single problem in our country and in the world. You know, is lack of personal responsibility.
Right.
You know, if people, Jordan Peterson makes a great comment about that. He says, "Make your damn bed." You know, and if you don't have the personal responsibility to make your bed every morning, then you can't have the ability to do anything else.
Mhm.
So make your bed. Okay, make your bed and take personal responsibility for that, and then work up and just take complete ownership
Right.
of everything that,
Right.
that happens.
Right.
You know?
Just like you know, you're not going to a bar and then throwing down some drinks and jumping in your car and driving drunk
You
and
can get a
ridiculous.
DUI after smoking weed. So
Yeah.
that's kind
Yeah.
of so you
Yeah.
can't do that. Okay. So this is a great segue. This is a great segue. Personal responsibility.
Uh-huh.
So Joseph G, he's in here. He's in the chat right now. He posted a question on my permaculture zone video, and it was.
Hang on just a second. Hoot Owl Holler, be careful with the food route because there has been many stories of overdoses because people don't know how to eat the edibles. The smoking, when our daughter smoked it, it was 2 drags in the morning and 2 drags at night, if I remember correctly. And hers was oh man, I'll have to ask her. It was like pineapple something mix that they called it, and just absolutely amazing. So be very careful with the edibles. I've seen issues.
Me after we answer Joseph's question.
Mhm.
Remind me that Starla wants to know how he came up with the name.
With Grumpy
Yeah,
Acres.
with Grumpy
Okay.
Acres. So anyway, the question he asked was how do we pay off the mortgage without using the land as collateral?
Mhm.
And the question's a good question because it's something a lot of people. I mean, to become free, it's something that we have to do. We have to do. We have to get out of debt. And so it's too big a answer to put into a comment on a video.
Mhm.
Mind you, this is our experience. These are our opinions. We are not financial experts. If you have financial questions, specifically, go talk to a financial expert. But our experience is, and correct me if I'm wrong, that the the way to get out of debt and pay off your mortgage is A, take responsibility for it.
Right.
You have to make the decision that you're going to get out of debt.
Right.
B, number 2, stop accumulating debt. Stop spending money. Make a budget. Get rid of all your excess outgoing expenses and start snowballing your debt, which I don't know if you know the snowball method. It's the one that Dave Ramsey promotes.
Mhm.
And it's you lay out all your bills and you start all your excess money goes into the first one, and then once that's paid off, that rolls over in the next, and it snowballs until you're paying off all your debt.
Mhm.
Now, another thing that you have to do, and it's really important. Angela likes calling them side hustles.
Got a side hustle.
You need to figure out if you've got X amount of debt and Y amount of income, and one's larger, the debt's larger than your income.
Mhm.
You got to go out and get another job.
Yep.
You got to go out. You got to go out while you're serving in the Marine Corps and work 40 hours between Thursday night and Sunday night for a moving company for
Yep.
2 years.
You got to deliver pizza.
Or you got to go deliver pizza 80 hours a week on top of your 80-hour regular job.
Mhm.
To make money so you can pay off
Mhm.
debt.
Yeah.
Big thing is stop accumulating debt. All right. It's easier said than done. I'm not going to lie. Yep. Ted calls it. You need more from it. They may have lost us.
There we go.
Are we back?
We're back.
Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Good old Starlink. It's really cloudy.
overcast.
It's
Yeah.
really cloudy
Yeah.
here tonight.
We got storms coming
You
in.
know, but what I was saying is we've been out of debt a couple of times, and I'm going to tell you that probably um, the hardest way to get out of debt is not the hardest. Let me rephrase that. The most traumatic way to get out of debt. It's probably the easiest way is to sell everything you got and start fresh. Start someplace new after you pay off all your debt. Sell your $500,000 property at a large loss, or not a loss, but for less than what you could sell it, and buy a new piece of property and do it that way. So that's a very traumatic way to do it.
But doing it in a traumatic way, you definitely make sure that you're not going back into debt.
Yes, absolutely. It's something you do not want to, and it really helps you build community, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Jonathan says if you're not already doing it, track every penny you spend, and see where things are going. It takes discipline to start doing it, but it'll be very helpful. Absolutely.
You would be really shocked where money goes. You really would.
Yeah.
You would be shocked. It's in fact we kind of go back and forth because of the business, my side hustle. So we go back and forth because we're like, okay, yeah, we're putting this on a card today, but we know we're going to pay that off within 30 days. And he's like, but that's debt. Yeah, I get it. But then if that's the case, then we have to have X amount of money going forward to put that in. So how do you do that?
Okay.
You hustle so that you can correct that. But you need to make sure that you're hustling, because if you don't pay that off within 30 days, the credit card company wins because they've charged you interest, and we don't want to pay them interest. So I know that sounds a little bit.
Credit cards are a double-edged sword. Tag made the point.
Dancing with snakes.
Tag made the point in our video that credit cards are a great way to get unsecured lines of credit. Problem is, it's like handling snakes. As long as you do it properly, nothing bad will happen.
Which means, again, you have to be responsible for yourself and your actions.
But if you handle snakes, eventually you're going to get bit.
Right.
So I'm not advocating using credit cards. This is something that her and I go back and forth on, because I don't put stuff on credit cards.
He like it. I like it. Well, one, because I know what my budget is, and I never put more than what the budget is on that credit card. And then I make sure that I pay it off. But the reason why is because we get cash back. So it's that money on the back end. We get free stuff.
Well, and there's the dichotomy there. You know, business owners. I got a friend who's an insurance guy, and he believes in using debt to secure new businesses, and you can't deny he's been very successful.
He has been, but it's a different world right now.
You know, and so there, you know, business experts will tell you there's a time and a place that you accrue debt. Mm-hmm. My thing is, as just a regular dude, don't incur debt and you won't go into debt. Seriously, it's that simple. And you know, it's everybody complains about Dave Ramsey's program, the Financial Peace Program,
because it's hard.
It's hard, and mm-hmm. You have to be very draconian about it. Mm-hmm. You have to understand that you're going to do without, you know, the whole beans and rice and beans thing. We live that.
But you live different today, so that you can live different tomorrow.
Right.
So, you know, it's nice when G hands me a list and he says, go get lumber. And I know that I can go get lumber and not have to worry about running up $25,000 on a credit. Not that that's what we spend, but, you know, I'm not running up a bunch of money on a credit card. Let's say putting $7,000 on a credit card and then having to pay that off over 3 years, paying $21,000 for that $7,000 in lumber.
Kentucky Sustainable Living came in, and so did Coraline Steve from what's that? Cole's Homestead. Nice. Welcome aboard. Nice seeing you. That's a new name. I haven't seen her before. But it doesn't mean she hasn't been here. It just means that I'm not very, very attentive sometimes.
But yeah, so Dave Ramsey is a really great place to start. He's got CDs. If you look at a lot of the churches, they'll have programs and stuff going on. We were first introduced to it, and we did the whole envelope system. You could do that if you just listen to his program. He's on the radio, and there's 3 hours in there. And I think one of the most inspiring things is you get to listen to everyone else about how much debt they're in, and then the ones that successfully got out of debt and what they're doing now, and then what they're worth and all of that.
Kind of makes you feel good, because there's always that one person that they tell their story and you go, geez, they're worse off than we are.
Yeah. But yeah, so just some encouragement there. And I think he's got another guy on there too now that is with him a lot. But yeah, so I do recommend the Dave Ramsey program.
But if you're
get the books and read them. We gave our kids Dave Ramsey.
Yep.
But if getting out of
debt is something you're looking at doing, the biggest thing is making the decision and sticking by it. Jonathan was right. Make a budget and track every penny, give every dollar a name, and know exactly where it's going. And you can do it. You can. It's actually once you set your mind to it, and you understand that you're going to do without some things in the short term, because in the long term you're going to be better off. It becomes easier over time, doesn't it?
It really does. It really does.
Then don't listen to other people, because there are people that are going to tell you that you're crazy. Yeah. They're just like making a move like we made for the Homestead. People are going to tell you you're crazy. We had friends. They're still really good friends.
Well, some of them are.
For the longest time, we lived in a 900 square foot cracker box house that was over 100 years old. It had mice problems. It leaked, and it
didn't leak.
Well, it got cold in the wintertime. I'm sorry, it got cold until we put new windows on it.
Yeah.
But we lived in a little cracker box house for almost 12 years.
No, it wasn't that long. 10
years.
10 years. No, 9. We bought that in 95, and then we moved in 2004.
2004.
Yeah.
So 9 years we lived in a house when we could have afforded 2 or 3 times the amount of house we
had. I wouldn't say we could afford it. We would have been approved for it.
Okay,
we would have been approved for it, but we literally paid $35,000 for that house, and because we stayed in it so long and took care of it and fixed it up, we got a nice return on it. We've always been blessed that way. Yeah, we really have. Yeah. We've always been blessed that way.
And this place right now, it's a hole, but if society doesn't collapse and the market doesn't crash, or it recovers from a crash, then eventually this will be a $500,000 property once we're done. And it's just a matter of putting the work into it.
Right.
So anyway.
Hey, T-Paw, your bacon was beautiful. T-Paw saw the bacon video, and she went in and canned her bacon. She sent me some pictures.
Oh, did she?
Yeah. And she was worried. She's like, this was juice, and no, it's grease. And I was like, yep, nope, that's fine. That's the way that it should be. And what was that? Oh, yep. Tag must have got it. Somebody else got it. And
why was that?
I don't know.
Hide it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh my goodness! Sometimes I don't understand you.
Because they don't.
We gotta wait till it comes back.
The naughty word community. Yeah. Unreal. There we go. Yeah, if you want to break those chains and get those shackles off, they don't like that. So
the naughty word community.
Right. Yeah. And then we got locked up too. Yeah. So, but so that's kind of the way that goes. And I can't. The bacon. So the juice on it, which she thought was juice, is actually grease, and she sent it to me. Absolutely beautiful. She did a great job with it. Everything sealed that time.
And Tabletop Farms did their first meat canning last week.
Right.
And sent us something.
They did some chicken, sent us some pictures. Chicken looked beautiful. They did a great job.
That's right.
And then Nikki did. Why Grumpy Acres?
Okay.
You have to come live with us for a little bit.
Well, hang on. I can't tell if they can hear us. I apologize for the connection tonight, folks. It is super overcast here today. So the Grumpy Acres. Okay. So apparently I've got resting grumpy face. And
My Purple Book Club.
everybody at my old work, everybody always thought I was grumpy because the only time they saw me was I would put my customer service face on. I would go out and I would interact with the computer users, and I would put my happy face on. I would set expectations. I would do a good job, and I would put up with all the stupid stuff I had to deal with. And as soon as I got through the door, the happy face would go away, and the grumpy face would come on, and I would start complaining and just doing what means do the best. And so everybody thought I was always upset. So I had a coworker who was a comedian, and he started calling me Grumpy G. So that's my official nickname is Grumpy G. That's why I go by that. And so,
which is really funny because you're a lot like my uncle, and my uncle was grumpy too.
Well,
and so
it's just
kind of funny.
I dealt with that, and then we bought the homestead over in Missouri. And folks, if you've got a homestead, you have to give it a name. Seriously, you've got to come up with a really good name for it.
Get animals on there first,
and
that'll give you a good name.
And she came home with this male goat who was just grumpy as hell. Baby's
still here.
Yeah. Baby's still here. You guys have seen him, but he's just a grumpy guy too. And we were trying to figure out a name, and I was like Grumpy Acres, because it was my initials, and so we got GAF and Grumpy Acres Farm, and that's how we came up with it. And then Baby just naturally was the mascot. So the goat on the shirt, I got the shirt on.
That was actually Baby.
So that goat right there is actually Baby. So that's how we got KitchenAid Acres.
I still like the Maytag, but KitchenAid just seems it's hard to get out. But I don't know. I'm not angry with it. But
we got to give him a more butch nickname.
A more butch nickname?
Yeah, some chick they're gonna like white. Some he's gonna.
Oh no, the girls are gonna eat it up.
Oh really?
Wait, you do dishes? Oh, come home with me. I'll feed you if you do my dishes.
Indiana Mike and the Temple of Darkness. Okay, that's funny. That is funny.
Oh man. Hey, Indiana Mike, I did get a hold of.
It's not funny, Jonathan.
I did get a. What would he say?
He said that the coffee cup holder that comes out of my computer broke.
Right. So Friday night when you guys get here, Trails Cafe, we got the back room reserved. So we'll do dinner. Reservations are at 6:30. Everybody knows where we're at. This is just dinner. So we
are doing the community potluck.
Anybody who wants to show up is welcome.
As Tag calls it, the freesteading Festivus.
Yeah, on Saturday.
Taking the pressure off of people for Thanksgiving and Christmas, and it is open up to everybody that can get there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Doesn't matter how if you live within driving distance of a day trip to Circleville, Kansas, we expect you to be there. Seriously, there's no reason why you shouldn't be. Yes, absolutely.
So so we're doing that, but you guys put that on your calendar, 6:30 Friday, and same place that we ate last time. Yes, Friday. Indiana Mike, you and Jeanette.
Oh, different thing. I thought you were talking about the.
No, the thing on Saturday is at 2:00 in Centerville Christian Church in Kansas. Everybody is welcome there.
Maytag Meadows. I actually like that one.
Well, you saw the land.
Ooh, and
I didn't see the land.
We can go. Oh, that's excellent because you can go full white trash with that. We can get a couple of broken down dishwashers and stick them out in the front yard. Dude, you'll be rocking it. Seriously.
I'll probably get him some blue barrels, and then he can look like our place.
There you go. Actually, Jonathan, I know where there's a dishwasher that's been sitting on the side of the road for the past year.
We might have a couple of refrigerators that are broken down that I can't get anybody to haul off because meth heads don't even want to work. I've got to wait. Get that. Oh, do you? Okay. So, but yeah, well, that's good. Those will get out of here. But yeah, okay. On freesteading in South Dakota, there are only 15 people, and I'm one of them. Certainly would be nice to see more people. Well, Carlene, then work it up, tell people about it, let them know what's going on. You're right. It would be great to see more people on there, especially in South Dakota.
Well,
there's a lot of like-minded people.
Part of the problem with South Dakota is there's a lot of open space between people.
I don't know that that's a problem, but
I think the lower density.
Well, I think that we just have to get it out there and remember that it's new. So it's going to take I'm going to say it, the evil word. It's going to take the community to get the word out there, push it, and get everybody on. Just got back from Virginia, visiting my Navy son.
Is it Norfolk?
Nice. Yeah. Hey, Cindy. So yeah, I don't know.
I don't know if you guys can show up seriously.
Yeah.
Sunday's going to be great.
Yeah.
It's just the amount of people.
Kids, girl, I even told my ex.
Raiders, if they lost, they must be talking football.
If they lost.
NAS Oceana. Okay.
So yeah, but it just takes all of us to get that word out there and grow that. So it's growing though. I see every day more and more people coming on. So
well, and they're like we were talking about in our last video between Tag and I, there are people all over the country contacting us and letting us know that they're building community.
They're doing the potlucks.
They're doing potlucks.
Just all kinds of stuff. The Homestead work days has started. The rotations, those have all started. This is just super, super exciting. Mm-hmm. It is so great to see everybody doing that. And everybody is in agreement that has had those Homestead work days that many hands make light work. Yep. And it is just so nice. And they're not all on freesteading. That's a really cool thing. Yeah. These people aren't on freesteading. Right. We need to get them on there. So if you run into people, yes, Starla, it is available internationally. In fact, if I remember correctly, and Tag could probably speak to this better than I could, there's actually an international community page. You know, yeah, I can't believe you didn't get those seeds until Friday. How long would you mail them out? Let's see. We dealt with Freya. And then I emailed him. It was 2 weeks. Then. Man, that's crazy that it took that long. It's the post office. Well, what do you expect? But anyway, so RN got some papa seeds, so he's going to do some papa. And good luck with that, because we are not hearing some great things. So hopefully you know what you're doing and get that. Just make sure you follow those directions. Keep them in the fridge as long as I said, and then make sure they stay moist. That's going to be your first. Yeah, that's going to be your first step. Now, Tag, off the top of your head, how many different countries are represented in that international community? I know there's at least 3. I know there's at least 3, because last time I was in there, I saw people from Australia, Canada, and I thought I saw somebody in London, Britain, somewhere in there. So I know there's at least 3, but if we get more across the pond, I think is what across the pond. So cosmopolitan. No, that's what it's over in Europe. I think that's the nickname. Oh. I think it's across the pond, something like that. Or maybe when they go in there, they just say hello from across the pond. Yep. So 15 countries. How cool is that? Mm-hmm. How cool is that we're on the ground floor of something that's got that amount of reach? Mm-hmm. You know, people are done. We're just ready to support each other and get the BS out of the system. So we're just done, and it's worldwide. And the ladder we are, then the more stronger we are together. Well, I think Tag and I were talking this weekend. I think they're growing about 1,000 a week, and it's up to 12 or 13,000 members. Yeah. You know, Starla, I'm not sure about Mexico, but I am communicating with Brazilian gardener, and he's wanting to learn sheep. They do a lot of sheep down there in Brazil, and so we've kind of chatted back and forth, and I need to check up on him. And then there's also some other ones that I've talked to, homeschool groups and that kind of thing, just everybody everywhere. And so it's interesting to me that somebody messages me from Brazil. Here I am in America, and they want to know how to do sheep when there's so many people down there that are doing sheep already. You know, it's kind of humbling.
Carlene, night. Have a good evening. Thanks for showing up.
Mm-hmm.
We enjoyed having you here. It's really humbling for us because we don't feel, honestly, we don't feel that we're worthy of some of the questions and some of the comments that are made to us. We honestly don't.
Yeah.
We're just a couple trying to make ends meet and trying to do what we feel is right for ourselves and our kids' future. So it does. It really humbles us, and we appreciate any trust that you guys have in us.
Yep.
And we're gonna do our best. We're gonna do our best to live up to what you guys deserve.
What we deserve.
Well,
what we deserve.
We don't know. We don't always hit that.
We're gonna try to live by example.
Yes.
So, and I've always said that. Be an example.
Well, so, if anything, we can be bad examples.
Preferably a good example.
Preferably a good.
So, all right.
Lucy says, Mr. G, I have only a small mortgage and my regular bills, phone, internet, and auto insurance. I don't believe in credit cards. A wise old man told me growing up, if you can't pay for it, you don't need it. Amen. Amen. If you don't, this is her and I go back and forth. If you don't have the money, you don't need to be buying it. Plain and simple.
Oh, Tag said no Mexico, but he will add it if there was interest.
Skanes can do bad all by herself. Absolutely.
Right.
You know what? Here's the way to look at it.
You'll never let Skane's girl and I play together, will you?
You should do everything that you do to the best of your ability. And if the best you can do is be a bad example, you should be the bad example there is out there.
Oh man. All right. Anybody have any questions for us and we can get those answered?
Oh, you owe people a talk on
the
lamb
sheep,
cuts.
The lamb cuts.
Lamb cuts.
I did go get, I'm going to apologize right now. I did go and get the form for the lamb cuts. Lord only knows where I put it. It's in a safe spot somewhere so that I could find it for the live. I don't know where. So that I do remember just offhand. So when you get to the rack, so the rack of lamb, those are the ribs. When you get to that, there's two ways to cut those, and you can do that French style, or you can do that as a Denver cut. So when you're chopped, so the Denver cut has all of the meat on it, and then French cut. So if you ever see the lollipops in the fancy
rack of lamb, the crown.
Right, and the crown and the little thing, that is called a French cut. And so you may have to talk to your butcher, some know how to do it.
And
most
Denver
will only do Denver cut.
Denver cut is your basic, like what your pork ribs and your beef ribs are, right?
No. So these are cut in chops. So all of the meat is left on it. So, and then, what? I call the somewhere method. And then, of course, you've got the roast. You got shoulder roast, leg roast.
Oh, that's her. She's talking about your filing. You filed it somewhere.
Oh yeah. Somewhere method. That's right. It's somewhere. So a lot of my stuff is somewhere. So then you get that, and then I've got so the butcher fee. There's a minimum. So for lamb and goats, it's $40. Disposal fee is $10. Processing charges $35, and then that's for a whole. And then they've got like different little things if you want sausage and all of that.
You've got your cutlets, your
minutes. Well, honey, this is this is for beef. So beef and hogs, and then this is for lamb and goats. So you're not going to get all that stuff with the lamb and goats. If you want it, you're going to make it yourself. So, yeah.
Oh, now they're starting to speak Spanish in the chat.
No habla español.
Press 2 for Spanish.
Everybody, all the high school Spanish is coming out. Muy bueno. Verdad. Aquí, ¿cómo está?
¿Dónde es los baños?
You remember that one?
Más cerveza, por favor. And I know some other ones that I can't repeat in mixed company.
Oh, man. So anyway, so those are the cuts, and then those are the prices, and then of course, like I said, we'll go back,
When you get
look at
you get
USDA prices, break down food, and know what we're going to
you
sell
get
it for.
you get your tenderloins, and you get butter.
So we're all done and roast. So if you want special cuts, you need to really sit down with your butcher, make sure they know what they're doing, what they're
Yeah.
talking about, and then go through with them what you would like, and go from there. So um, I don't know. So okay, so that locker dates. So I'm
Oh,
able.
this is unbelievable. I can't. I folks, if you're suffering from what she's about ready to talk about, say something in the chat, because this is crazy. Okay, tell them when the next locker date is for sheep, lamb.
I can piggyback one lamb, and I cannot get in until February 27th
February 27th.
of 2023.
So,
And if I have more than one, then I have to get my own locker date, and that will be available in 2024.
so they're a year out on locker dates for individuals
Yes.
because they're doing the big
She
USDA
was
stuff.
she was so busy. They were so busy. They're cleaning up about 3 p.m. and they were so busy they were literally still butchering, and everything was just all over the place. So
Well, and this is a good example of why we need to start learning these skills. I don't know.
Keep everything on a calendar. Know you're in. Know when everything needs to go
Well, no,
out. Get ahead of it.
More importantly than that, we
Learn
need to learn
how to butcher.
we need to learn how to butcher ourselves. Billy Bond does a fantastic job teaching butchering. Darren and I went out to the Self Reliance Festival and watched him give that hog butchering class, and it was just a phenomenal class. And so, my suggestion to everybody is um, learn how to butcher. I know how to butcher meat because I've done it enough. That's why I pay somebody else to do it, because my time uh, is better spent doing other things than having a professional do it, because I get better cuts of meat basically, you know. But
Starly, you don't want me standing over you with you butchering my animals, because I am picky, and I have been known to chew out a butcher over what they hand me. So you do not want to do that. Billy is probably the only one that I trust, and then
he does a good job.
Yeah. So
RN says get Billy Bond's butchering class
Right.
and an extra freezer.
Yeah.
Um,
So those walk-in freezers. So Hippocrates was talking about that. So those walk-in freezers, actually get those and you can get them used. So sometimes you can find them at the auction for about $1,000. We actually have a neighbor. He's checking on one, thinks that he's got one secured for us, and around the same money. So
well,
kind
and
of
see
happy with that.
those walk-in freezers, they're built in panels,
Mhm.
and there's companies, whenever restaurants go out of business, they go in and they salvage these panels. And as a consumer, not having a restaurant or anything, the big thing that we're concerned about is the door,
Right.
the panel with the door in it. Because that's the one that has to be done right in order for it to work. The rest of the room, you could literally insulate that yourself, and do it yourself without having to spend the money on the panels, and just buy the one door panel. So if you got a company near you that does that, that might be something to start looking in and finding where those are around the country.
What's that? I'm sorry, I was
The
laughing in
salvage companies.
Oh yeah.
The salvage
And then
companies.
those coolers, right? The
For the walk-in
yeah,
coolers.
for the
Well, like Danny-
the window unit, I guess.
Oh yeah, there's a company, and for the life of me, I cannot remember the name. Darren always has to give it to me.
Coolbot.
Coolbot. That's it.
Coolbot system.
Coolbot.
Yep.
So Coolbot systems, what they do is you take a regular household air conditioner, and they're regulated. They can only go down so cold before the limiter kicks in. And what the Coolbot does is it bypasses that and allows you to get down to below freezing, so you could freeze meat and stuff. They're not the most energy efficient, because
you just need to make sure that you're keeping everything that's cold to stay cold and make it last. You just need to make sure that you're keeping that under 41 degrees. So if you keep the cold, and then keep your hot.
Well,
so,
the Coolbots will freeze meat. They'll get that cold. But the issue is you're using.
So they'll go down to 0.
No, it'll get down, if I remember correctly, down to like about 15.
Yeah, I'd rather go to 0, to be honest with you.
But but you're using a commercial grade.
No.
No.
No, that's not happening. The best I can do is my neighbor. So no, that is not happening.
Hippocrates says they can. Talking about the cool bots, they can also be used to make a chest freezer into a refrigerator. I did that for keeping eggs cold off of solar. Oh, cool!
That's
Off of
great
egg cells.
idea.
That's a great idea. You should do a video on that. You should.
I got an idea. You
Yeah.
can come to Great Grumpy Acres and you could show us how to do it. And we'll record it.
There you go. Yeah, it's just there's so many ways to do it out there. It's not even funny, But like I was going to say, Danny from Deep South Homestead, they actually bought a complete unit with the walls and everything, and he put it together, and
it looked fairly simple to put
from
together.
everything that he says, it's working great.
Said as I'm processing turkey for Grammy. They've got
monster
the Hacks,
turkeys.
man. They're grounding meat, and I can't remember how many she said she went through.
How many turkeys did you do?
No. Our conversation today, you weren't in on that conversation. I think there's 6 carcasses, and they're at 49 pounds of ground meat.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. And that didn't even include she hadn't done the wings or legs yet.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
That's a lot of meat.
Right.
That's a lot of meat.
Right. So
like I said, though, they've got monsters. Go over to their channel and see the video of their turkeys.
They did a great job with their turkeys.
They've got some
I know.
monster
I
turkeys.
told her. I said, I know. I give her a hard time about overfeeding animals. I did even when she was taking care of our animals. And so,
Mrs. Hacks likes spoiling her animals.
Yes,
which is a good thing.
It's a good thing, and what you put into your animals, you're going to get out. So if you don't feed them well, you're going to get crap animals and crappy meat. And if you feed them well and you do good things, then you end up with 40-pound turkeys. So,
Pterodactyls. There you go. Pterodactyls.
But, yeah. So, oh man. So that was good for them, and she's still processing. So, and I think she was ready for a few more. I think if I remember correctly, she said they ended up with 5 hens and 1 because the turkeys were so big, their shoulders and arms are hurting because they had to get them in the cone, hold them above the cone because they didn't fit inside there. And so they're extremely sore. And by the time the last 2 were left, they said, forget it. We're just going to keep more hens. So they have 1 tom and
Tech
5
says
hens.
he speaks 2 languages, English and B. From my understanding, B is a very hard language to learn.
No, it's not. You just got to know her and be like if
Yoda,
you listen to her.
Yoda's another hard language to understand. That's why B and Yoda communicate because they've got the same basic etymology of their languages, their words.
Oh, I don't know about that, but yeah, you guys are just cracking me up with all the Spanish on here.
Yeah, and I'm not understanding a word of it.
Oh, it's real simple. So I'll show you later. I can go back. It was I
saw that
Starla was asking
what
his spouse's wife was. Now they're going through a few other things. So yeah, just getting to know each other. So, but yeah, so that's all good, and you guys have fun with that. But yeah, we're not doing a bilingual. Nope. Starla was like, "Can you do a bilingual YouTube channel?"
Actually, speaking of that, we met. Remember the girl that had the booth next to us at Back to the Land? Had the dog.
Oh yeah. Sherry.
Uh-huh. So this girl, she was in the booth next to us. Really sweet. I met her at Self Reliance Festival, and then she had it set up right next to us. So she runs a tourist thing in Peru, and she actually lived in Peru, and she speaks Spanish as a second language. And she's got, gosh, I've got it written down. Maybe I think Hacks may have it too.
Let me share this with you. She was down in Peru, and so a lot of Americans use Spanish very loosely, and so you have to be very careful because there are several different dialects of Spanish. And so when you start, for example, If you're in the Baja area and coming from Tijuana and you're speaking Spanish, and then you go, yeah, oh yeah, I'm saying something. And then you go to the East Coast and you speak Spanish with someone who's Puerto Rican and you use certain words, those certain words don't have the same meaning. You have to be extremely careful.
But she's got
Starla, you have to be extremely careful
No.
who you're talking to and what you're putting on that feed.
Anyway,
things have different meanings.
This girl, she's got a YouTube channel that's in Spanish that had like 250,000 people on it, and I'm sure we'll run into her again. She's actually a pretty neat person.
Yeah, she was selling kombucha lemonade, right?
Yep, kombucha lemonade.
Yeah.
It was delicious.
Yeah. She was so busy.
Probably
she had to walk the dog, and I was selling her stuff.
Probably not as good as Jonathan's kombucha.
I don't know. I haven't had Jonathan's kombucha.
Well, see.
But I've had his bean soup, his mung beans.
Well, you got his recipe.
I've got the recipe now.
His Texas tarragon and his his mustard.
Yep, I am running to the Oriental Market. If I can, I'm gonna have to call Hitch again, find out exactly where that's at, and then I will go get it.
Lemon ginger kombucha is awesome.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what she was doing. Right?
The company here,
Oh, did you go get it from the Nation?
No. I've had the Nation's ginger.
Yeah, but didn't you send him over? You told him he could pick up.
No, he didn't. I don't think he got
okay.
All right. Skane says she used to have a little black book that explained the differences between the dialects.
Yeah. Huge difference.
So is it like talking redneck from Southern Missouri versus redneck from West Virginia?
It's like talking.
Sure are pretty.
It's like talking ghetto going into West Virginia, or it's talking ghetto going down into Louisiana, down in the bayou. In the bayou, yeah, it's that different. So, yeah, you think you're being cool and you think you're having a conversation. Next thing you know, you got somebody lit standing across from you, ready to kick your butt.
Do we know this from personal experience?
And I was also laughing at something that was put in the thing, but yeah, yep, I knew it from experience.
I'm kind
of. She taught English in Mexico.
Oh, nice.
Well, Starla, then you should run that.
She's going to be a moderator on the freestanding Mexico community.
Good. Great.
Yeah. You're telling her she needs to watch what she's saying.
The dialects are different. I'm telling you, they are. And I've been there. I'm just saying. So, piddle here means
messing around. That's funny because
that's
what Gizmo understands when it's time to go outside. Is it time to go piddle? And she'll be like,
"Yep, go piddle." She's barking and going. Yeah, so it's just different. It's just different area. It's just like you don't call a Puerto Rican a Mexican. You definitely don't call a Costa Rican.
You can call them a Mexican if you want to upset them.
Right.
Not that I've ever done that before. Dominicans really don't like being called Mexicans.
Right. So, yeah. Anyway, there's a lot to that. We don't have to go into it, but yeah. So let's go into Shark Week. We saw an article today. It's good.
Let's not talk about that.
Oh, come on.
Oh my gosh.
Come on. It's so ridiculous and funny.
I got her wound up. I was reading headlines, and Fox News had a thing about how Shark Week was racist, according to the Washington Post. And so
go read the article. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Apparently the conversation about sharks was not open enough because there weren't enough black shark experts represented on the Shark Week. And naturally, me being the person that I am, I thought it was extremely funny, and I started cracking jokes, and I started reading some of the comments on this news story, which were actually pretty funny. But yeah, I got her started. I apologize.
Oh man, I don't know why everything is racist now.
Well, when you're racist, everything is racial. When you are a bigot, everything you see is bigotry. And so that's one of the things.
Did it work, Mrs. Hacks? So Mrs. Hacks called me and said, "Do you know a secret?" I automatically said no. And she started laughing. And then the question was, do you have a secret to taking the raw meat off of the leg, because the tendons were in the way? So I'm interested, Mrs. Hacks would share with us. What did you do?
Yep, share with us.
So, but yeah, I know everything's racist now. I just don't
well,
get
and
it.
you know what? This is why we need to build community, because building community, and when I say community, most of the time we're talking about our circle or your circle. Those people that are closest to you, and that you share a bond with. But when we say community, it also means the greater community. It means the people outside our circle. The past couple of weeks we've done projects for people that were in the greater community that may come into the closer community and eventually, but right now they're outside.
Well, it just like my eye doctor. I went to the eye doctor. I found a very by accident. Honestly, I didn't search him out. God just led me there, and very extremely like-minded. And we had got to talking, and it was funny because even B asked, she's like, "Well, how did that conversation come up?" Because he may be coming to the potluck homestead or the homestead potluck on Saturday.
Oh, did you see that?
What?
Charlotte said she actually got a new property today.
Yeah, I saw that.
It's going to be office.
And then so we got to talking, and it was just as much as what started the conversation. He asked me, he said, "So what do you think about the world today and the state that the world is in?" And I was just blatantly honest, and I said, "We are probably a little more extreme than what you're ready for." And he said, "I don't know, try me." And so we had a very good conversation, and hopefully him and his wife will be joining us on Saturday, and we'll get them in. And that was really nice. So you start building those extras, and that's what we need to do. So we support those businesses and make sure that we support those people that are like-minded and not going to.
Well, and Tag and I had this conversation on our last video, and we had it again this weekend. That we the powers that be try to keep us divided, and I'm going to be completely honest with you folks. If you haven't heard me say this before, you're going to hear me say it now. I think the division's already done. I think things are broken to the point where they're unfixable, and what we're doing now is we're trying to mitigate the damage and make it so that whatever comes out the other end. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm running my hands in front of the live stream or the chat. But what's coming out there, then we're trying to mitigate that and make it better for. That doesn't mean, even though I believe that, and I believe that there's two nations in this country, and we can't live side by side, and the divide's naturally going to happen. That doesn't mean that we purposely try to cause division in the community, right? We should always be looking at bringing people into the community. If there's people that we're nominally pointed in the same direction, and we it's like the church. If you can agree on the fundamentals, everything else can be worked out. So we want to look at people and look for people that believe in the same fundamentals we do, and we want to work towards bringing that greater community together, which makes our inner community even that much tighter.
Right.
I hope that's making sense. Is that making sense?
Makes sense to me, but we've lived that every day. So
so that's it. But of course, that's just my opinion. You may have a different opinion. Feel free in the comments after this post to put in there however you feel. Well, that's a lie. Not every opinion's welcome. But
everybody's got an opinion.
Everybody's got an opinion. Absolutely.
Everybody's got a poop too. So, Joseph, it's still vote, but I believe there's no political solution.
Joseph, we up until 14 months ago, we lived in Cass County, just outside of Kansas City, there in Pleasant Hill. So I'm Missouri born and bred, plain and simple. Living in Kansas, all the K-State and KU flags drive me nuts. Seriously, I'm a Missouri boy through and through.
There's something about Kansas in their football and basketball. Man,
and they're not very good at it.
No.
Well, the basketball. Admittedly, the basketball, K-State, good basketball team. Joel says, I can't believe I actually found a doctor that's not your typical medical hack. My psych is also like-minded. He even said he appreciates a lot of the videos I shared with him. And then Starla says, knowledge comes from our elderly. We need to talk to all of them, be friends with them, and learn. You would be surprised. Speak to an elderly person at the supermarket, but actually converse with them.
Right.
Yeah. That's the weirdest thing right now is being the same age as old people. That's the weirdest thing I've got going on in my life right now. It's just bizarre.
Oh man, no. When there's no hold bars when I go to the supermarket or doing anything. Anybody who says hello, I say hello. We talk. I had a conversation. It was over that blanket.
You
that I
always
bought.
got old dudes hitting on you.
That's not true. So, but there was a lady and I were talking just at Sam's Club the other day, and now I guess I'm gonna have to find something else. I don't know where I'm gonna go start getting my stuff from, but we were talking about the blankets, and she actually helped me pick out that blanket. I wasn't really gonna buy it.
Did the Tractor Supply thing actually get to you?
The what?
The Tractor Supply and Walmart thing actually get to you? Is that what that comment was about? You've got to find someplace else. Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
I can't anymore. I can't.
Okay.
And the whole ESG thing and all of that, and then looking into boom guards and what's going on there. Boom guards I will support, and so far they've not changed their mission statement. And they are like-minded, so I'm glad that they're buying some of the Orschelns now. Some of the Orschelns, they are not buying them all. Tractor Supply is buying the rest. So, but Boom Guards did pick up quite a few, I think 100 here in the U.S. And it does look like they will be changing the name to Boom Guards, so you will know the difference. And I'm not sure about Tractor Supply. I really don't care, so I'm not putting a lot of energy into that. But I just know who's going to be Boom Guards and where I can shop.
Hey, Join Air, it's not that I'm necessarily against sports ball anymore. I don't follow it that often because I've got more important things in my life now. I'm a huge sports fan. So even today, I'm still a huge sports fan. It's just Kansas. It's not anything about the sport itself. It's just the Kansas thing, And Missouri's in the SEC, and they actually made a bowl game this year, believe it or not. So I'm not opposed to sports ball as a whole. It's just certain things, and I know college sports is religion there in the South, from like Tennessee all the way down through Georgia and Florida. Crazy amount of loyalty to the school.
Wait, where was that? So down here, some of the Orschelns were bought by Boucher. I'm not sure the spelling. Are you sure it's not Boom Guards?
No, Boucher's down in Arkansas. That's it.
But that's Midwest. Boom
no,
Guards.
That's gonna be south. That's gonna be the southern.
Are you sure? Because Boom Guards actually said that they served some of Arkansas. So I don't know. And that's BOOMGAAR. So, but yeah.
Carlene says Dog Creek Farm. See, good name. My daughter's farm is in Brookville, close to you. Excellent. Yep. Show me state. You can't take the Missouri out of the boy. Seriously. And if you live north of the river, in west central Missouri, I'm sorry, it's not as good as south of the river.
Dixieland does exist.
No, it's not that. It's just the only thing good north of the river in Kansas City is Worlds of Fun.
It's not even good anymore either.
No, that's because we're older.
Jamesport's good.
That's northwest Kansas, or northwest
okay.
Missouri.
All right.
Don't put sugar in cornbread. It makes it corn cake. They call it Yankee. Actually, it's called Johnny Cakes. When you put sugar in your cornbred, it's actually called a Johnny Cake around here.
Yeah.
And yes, I like my Johnny Cakes. Let's see. When I've been out south, it's funny how some people react to you talking to them in the checkout line. It's because you got that funny northern accent. I mean, you get north of the Mason-Dixon line, and people start talking funny. Jonathan. Jonathan says some people here do make it sweet and Starla.
For Dad, for me.
Yeah, all the Northerners that moved down there, Jonathan. Utah is very friendly. Actually, my daughter said that it's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Our daughter,
and she's really friendly. So
our daughter, they live in the Salt Lake City area, and she said that Utah is very, very, very friendly, and it's kind of creepy. Which coming from her is something big.
So on the cornbread thing, if you don't want to put the sugar on it, there's another thing you can do, and I like it, and you like it.
I like cornbread anyway.
But with your cornbread, when you make it, then put a can of cream corn in there. Yes. So good. So good. So I absolutely love it. But that's how I make mine.
See, there's people make it both ways, prefer some sugar in it, never put sugar in it.
I never put sugar in it.
Well, you've made Johnny cake before, once or twice. You don't make it very often. You don't make but you put the cream corn in it, and the sweetness of the cream corn makes it kind of a pseudo Johnny cake.
Yeah. Gee, I got tons of twang.
There you go.
At Skanes Girl, I had to work on that. When we moved from Tennessee to California, I used to get teased so bad. And so they would just tease me and tease me and tease me about my twang. And there was just nothing that I could do about it. So it took a very long time for me to pay attention to my grammar and the way that I spoke to try to change that. The problem is, I get relaxed, and if I get around anybody that is from Tennessee, and I just fall right back into it. It just is what it is. So.
There's something to be said about a girl with that southern drawl or the southern twang.
Well, they don't appreciate it down in California.
They're a little bit different,
which is funny because they all talk weird down there anyway. They all sound like they've got different accents. So. But
either Mexican or stoner.
Right. I wasn't going to say that.
It is what it is.
But yeah, I don't know. So yeah, Salt Lake City is the most beautiful. So
I've driven through there.
Our daughter is around that area.
Well, I drove through there. I saw the temple when it was lit up at night. I don't
really care about the temple, but there's a lot of festivals down there, and so they did. Lexi sent us some stuff, and it was the lavender pepper, and they have a lavender festival down there. And it's the lavender that is grown for Young Living. And so she goes to this festival every year and then sends us some product. I even got lavender honey. And
that was good.
Yeah.
Lavender infused honey is really good. And the lavender lemonade. And it was just country time lemonade with dried lavender in it. But God, it was good.
Yeah. And Jonathan, I thought it, but he said it. So, but yeah, and then
can't help it. I'm shallow.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, and then there was some other, and they had what was she talking about? She was telling us about.
Well, they got the Pioneer Days in
Pioneer
July.
Days, but then she was saying there was a big prepper
Founder Day,
prepper convention or something like that. They do every year out there too. So. We're going to try to hit up some of those festivals.
Our winter festivals are amazing. And then Aaron says, when I lived down South Florida, it was easier to write out my breakfast order than to tell them what I wanted in Alabama English.
What?
Oh, yeah, I don't care who you are. That's funny.
Oh, just don't yell out, kiss my grits. So, oh man.
Southern drawl where we can run 4 words into one and make a 4-letter word out of 5 syllables.
Or just come up with your own words. I love Chester drawers.
Chester drawers and
drawers. I get so much crap over that, but I have said it the same way my entire life. So, I don't know. Anyway.
Oh my goodness, honey, we are running up on an hour and 20 minutes.
All right, let's go ahead and get out.
Start wrapping up. Yeah. Some things down the road that we're gonna do. I decided that we are gonna do
your heart. That is the biggest FU that you could ever give someone and say it's so nice, but you got to make sure that you have that really nice smile on your face and you just bless your heart.
Southern women can be vicious. Oh my
catty
gosh.
women are catty.
Well, that would make you feel good about it too.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we are going to do. Well, I am. I don't know. I don't know if Yoda's going to take part in it. We're going to do a. We are going to do the conflicted night sometime in December. I've got a couple.
We are in December.
Sometime in the next couple of weeks, we're going to
Okay.
do it. I've got at least one person, and I'm going to talk to a couple more.
Look, Jonathan's got Chester drawers in his
See?
bedroom too.
It is what it is.
Uh-huh. Yep.
And a shiffer robe. But we're gonna do a conflicted night, and it's going to be a live stream, and everybody's going to be invited to it. And then Kentucky Sustainable Living and I, we're talking. We're going to do another.
Right. Keep your mouth shut.
We're gonna do another hunting night, and hopefully we can get Spags on there so he can tell us about the monster buck that he killed this year with his bare hands this last week. I don't know if you guys haven't been out to his channel. Spags did a video about hunting last week, which is really good. I mean, he really enjoys hunting. He's kind of in the same boat I am, and he did a really good video about his week hunting up there. So we'll Chester. Starla's confused now.
You don't know what a Chester drawers is, Starla? They got to be together. It's all one word, Chester drawers.
Chester drawers.
Yeah.
So those are the two lives. He's got any ideas about a video series like what Tag and I did? We did the What is Freedom, the 28 Principles series. If you guys got any ideas about what kind of video series you'd like to see like that, go ahead, post it in the comments after we're done. And I'm trying to come up with an idea where we can do. I think the last one we did, the last episode, the live episode, we went 2 hours and it was a really good conversation. And everybody, the chat was really involved, and I really want to do that again. I told Tag after we got done that I wish we would have done all 15 episodes that way, because it would have been the whole thing would have been much better. Seriously, because just the involvement from everybody. So if you've got any ideas, let us know, and we'll figure something out. Because I gotta figure out something to do on Thursday nights now. Because Tag and I have been doing that for the past 3 months.
How my grandma called it Chester drawers too. It's a Southern thing. Starla, I'm so sorry. Chester drawers is actually, I'm going to try to get it out.
Say it slow.
Chest of
drawers.
Drawers. Chester drawers.
Chester drawers.
It's just Chester drawers. So that is what Chester drawers are. So it's the drawers in your bedroom. So where you put your clothes at.
Your drawers.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so there's that.
Thank you, Hoot Owl. I'll spell it out for you.
But there are some things you just can't, when you say it like that your whole life, there's just some things you just can't correct. So drawers is always something that I've had a problem with.
Jonathan just explained it too.
For holding clothes.
So
stuff, yeah.
if do you guys have any more questions before we go, or anything else you guys want to discuss? We appreciate it.
Dresser.
We've been at this for almost an hour and a half, and I had a lot of fun tonight. This was a good conversation, and you guys make it what it is. Seriously, we're just here to facilitate it. You guys make it what it is. And
I forgot the dresser.
The dresser.
Yeah, that would have been easy to say. But
so if nobody's got anything else to say, you got any closing thoughts?
I don't think so, guys. I think just be vigilant. Make sure you're protecting those kids, protecting your kids. Keep them close. Keep an eye out on things. Keep your head on a swivel. Make sure that you're constantly watching, and most importantly, go live a life done free.
Yeah. I'll finish by saying the thing lacking in the prepper and the homesteading community right now, in my opinion, the most is discernment. And we need to learn. No, we know discernment. We already know about discernment. We need to start practicing more. We need to watch everything that's going on around us. And next week we're going to talk German.
Hacks will be all over that one.
I do not want to have to brush off my conversational German. So no, if you guys want to do that, You guys do it yourself. Pat, we will see you on Saturday. I hope to see some more of you people on Saturday. And between now and then, you guys go out and live a life done free, okay? Take care.
Night, guys.